Dennis Frampton,
Present.
Daniel Hyam,
Present.
Kyle Hertzy,
Present.
Pat Kennedy,
Present.
Rob Lothar,
Present.
Danny Jones,
Present.
Anthony Perillo,
Present.
Harold Shields,
Here.
and Tim Wachter.
Here.
All right, all are present.
Great, thank you very much. So finance and administration, or no, we have finance and administration. You want us to raise money, huh?
Madam Chair, if I may ask a question before we start.
Sure.
Should we have public comment?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my apologies. Is there any public comment?
No,
None. Nobody signed up.
No.
Okay, thank you, Tim. I just went right by that. You know.
Did we vote on the minutes?
Yeah, we did. Oh, sorry. My goodness, it's one of those mornings. Yes. All those in favor of passing the minutes, approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. We just had a crazy morning. Now, John, you get to come up. John.
I'm here. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I saw you. I just didn't hear you.
Yeah, no, this was proposed by Mike at the last meeting, the art fee. And you have in your packet the explanation, the presentation that he used during the last meeting. To summarize, the total savings using the new art fee would be about $750,000 in new revenue and net savings compared to the original plan, which was elimination of some faculty. We are willing to try this this method of savings and new revenue to keep art as a mainstay and not eliminate some of those programs. And I'm going to, I mean, from my perspective, the only risk here is, you know, that we could lose students, but Mike has already calculated the potential loss. And even with a nominal loss in students, we're still ahead of the game over the retrenching. And I'll let Mike add, if you want to speak up, Mike, and tell me if did I shorten that too much for you?
And John, wait, before we move on to Mike, because we had a number of trustees ask this question, I assume that the information I had received before is true, that these fees are on the art students and all art prefix, but if a student in education is just taking the general art history course, these fees are not applied to that art history course, correct?
Yeah, only ones that have the art prefix.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike, you correct me if I'm wrong. That's
So,
what.
yeah, only the ART prefix course, which are those are all studio-based courses. So art history and art education courses, the fee would not be applied to those.
Okay, good. At least I had some good information. Thank you.
And otherwise, John's summary was correct, and we had also discussed this at the previous meeting of the council. The fee basically is it's a modification to the existing fee. It really represents a commitment and an investment in the art program here at Edinburgh, since it will allow us to maintain our regular faculty and maintain the studio arts programs that are sort of a mainstay and strong foundation of the art program.
And even after you apply that fee, Mike, you are still very competitive with the other universities that offer art from.
That's
good.
correct. Looking at the other art programs that our students consider when they come to Edinburgh, we are still one of the lowest cost art programs, even with the fee applied.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive PowerPoint on this of the differences. Yeah, interesting. And just for any of you that may not have looked at your portal, this is in the portal.
Does anybody have
So,
questions?
yes, John, this is
No, but
Mark.
you
Could you
answered-
give us, go ahead, Harold.
No, I said you've answered my question. I was looking at Kutztown, I guess, is the one in the state system that probably has the a program, I shouldn't say comparable, but near ours. So we're still competitive with them. And what about any of the privates who have art education? Not art education, but studio arts. Are there any in the general area, Ohio, New York, Northwest Pennsylvania?
Yeah, the main schools, again, the data was mainly applied to schools that our art students have indicated they also considered before coming to Edinburgh. And so that also includes Kent State, Ohio State, the Columbus School of Art and Design, Temple RIT. And those, we are, for those schools, we are dramatically less in cost.
It's
Okay.
amazing how much less than cost that.
Yeah, that Columbus Art School is about $18,685 compared to our $6,600 with our fee attached to it. It's significant.
Barb, one last question. I know this is a public meeting, but what are we sending out to the media as a package so they understand our history on this, what we've done, all that sort of stuff?
We, Barb, may I speak with that?
Absolutely.
We're not going to be proactive in sending anything to the media. We do have talking points if we're asked. I'm actually surprised when the stories ran about our 21 programs being eliminated, no one asked about the art programs, which were on the original list. And as you know, there was a lot of public reaction to that. So our talking points would contextualize this decision, note the point that we had done a comparative analysis. Our cost for a premier program, longstanding premier program that Edinburgh offers is very competitive with other premier art programs, not only locally and regionally, but around the country. And also another part of the talking point, Harold, would be that the students spoke, we listened, right? They talked about the importance of these programs. We found a way to maintain them. It'll come at a cost to them, but there will also be financial aid available for those who qualify.
Okay. And then the other thing is the art animation. I mean, animation, I think a strong animation program. So all that kind of bundles together in terms of a kind of a curricular thing that we have that no one else has. So, I mean, I like to be more proactive than reactive, but that's just me.
Actually, Harold, I agree with you. And I guess part of me also believes we need to tell the story of how much more cost effective we are compared to a competitive set. I think we need to tell that story. And I think, we're out there at Art 100 and we're the best place to go. And I think we need to tout that even with this fee, hey, we are cost effective. We're the best product out there. And we're 100 years old. I mean, I would lean towards being proactive. I don't know that we're proactive enough.
I agree with
Oh, go ahead.
too many times we're behind the 8 ball and somebody else is dictating the story. And quite frankly, I'm tired of it because it makes us look bad in this age of what's needed in transparency. It doesn't appear that we have it. It appears that we do shady things, and certainly our faculty doesn't help us at all with getting the message out as to why we're doing it. We're still competitive. It seems at every turn, everybody wants to make Edinburgh look bad, and I think we have to be more proactive.
So you're
I
just
would-
so I
I
understand.
agree
Go
that
ahead.
we should
Wait a minute,
have
let Tim talk. Go on, Tim.
I agree. I have to say I'm a little dismayed to hear that, in the last time when, nobody reached out and asked us about art. I think we need to be proactive about that. We can't wait for the conversations. We can't wait for the questions. We need to direct our own story. We have a great story to tell. We are doing well with what we have. Our art program is renowned, and we should be shouting that from the rooftops. And rather than having responsive points available, I think we need to have those proactive points available.
And especially since we're in integration, right? I mean,
recognizing that the
when
media is
wait a
listening to us
minute.
here.
We'll let Tim finish, and then Anthony will go to you. Sorry.
So we also have to recognize that this is a public meeting and that media is listening to us today.
That's true. Absolutely.
Just when you're explaining, you're losing. And I'm sorry, I think what everybody's said here about being proactive and highlighting the great things that are happening at Edinburgh University, we need to do more of it. And we are always on the explaining end. I think we need to be more proactive. I want to commend this department. I think, everybody, I think, knows that I don't like to vote for increases. I don't think anybody likes to vote for increases. Let me put it that way. But the truth of the matter is, I think this department's bent over backwards and into a pretzel to not have to have this happen, and yet we still have to have it happen. We need to be promoting all the good things of Edinburgh University, not waiting for talking points, not waiting for somebody to write a bad story. So we got to try to explain it away. And that's just my humble opinion.
You don't have to be humble, Anthony. But anyway. Okay, Angela, you wanted to. This is a public meeting. Sorry, Angela.
So just so I understand, you would like to see us be proactive in announcing this increased fee, because we are quite proactive in promoting the art programs to prospective students and other groups. We don't have a media relations person on the team, but certainly we can do that. If you'd like us to announce the fee, we can certainly do that.
But you go
Within
out with
context.
art and our stellar increase, but how we stand with the competitive set.
Sure.
You have to lay it out there that we are far more competitive than our other top competitors. So,
okay.
And that we're going to be there. That we're going to be there for a long time. This is a good program. It's going to continue. What a great program it is. What a great message it is. Look at what our Edinburgh alumni are doing. I would make it more about that than the fee.
Yeah, the fee is not the message. The fee is not the headline.
No.
I hope not.
I think we have,
Amanda.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I think we have a real opportunity with the fact that Art 100 is not done. We're not done with that celebration. We need a good way to close. I have talked with the president and about potentially extending the Art 100 celebration, since we are so off course with it with COVID, to extend potentially maybe through the period of planning with integration, because we know as of April, the communications for integration really need to be more robust. But we're raising money for art scholarships right now. We're raising money for an art gallery right now. So all of the positive communications that we can have in celebrating the future of the art program, I think would help with that. So I'll definitely circle back with Angie as well to think about how do we tie all that together, because I think we have some opportunities there that from an advancement standpoint and from an art programming standpoint, where we have, a lot of events that got pushed and may need to be virtual events for the spring, but they've all been postponed. We still have a lot there. There's a lot of meat still to Art 100 and celebrating that. So maybe this is a great way to celebrate the final phase of that university-wide celebration. So thank you.
I don't want to mix too many messages together. I think the most important thing is that we have a very good art program, and that art program will continue to thrive, and it's very important. We talk about all that, And, and the fact that we now have put in place something that will help to support that program. It has to be a financial increase to support that program, to make sure we will continue to educate art majors from now on. And we talk a little bit about our history, a little bit about the Fighting Scots statue, all those kind of things, and get that in one focused message. Because, man, if we get too many messages going in there, it gets confusing. So I'd rather deal with this message, talk about really what we're doing in terms of art education and how good we are, not only in Northwestern Pennsylvania, but in the tri-state area, and really all over the country, tied to animation. Make that a good story. We can come back with the fundraising piece, development piece a little bit later, in my opinion.
Thank you. Mark Malini?
My concern is the effect on the number of art students. If I look at the projected revenue increase by increasing the tuition on the art prefix classes by 25% of $750,000, that sounds to me like per art student, that's quite a bit of money every year. And I'm wondering if that isn't taking us off of our charter of providing a low-cost quality education to the people in the state.
Mike, did you want to, Mike or John?
And I have one other further thing, and I hope that this doesn't become a precedent in other programs, that the way we maintain the program and the faculty is that we come up with increased fees instead of looking at the real issues.
Yeah, I think when we, at the September meeting, we looked at the fee being about $1,000 per year. That's assuming that the student only took art courses. And obviously they have other electives and general education courses. In terms of other fees, the only others that we have, and this is not uncommon in a lot of other private institutions, is we do have a STEM fee, which applies to, again, on a course basis, applies to high cost courses in a lot of the lab sciences. And
Sure.
then there is also a nursing program fee because that, again, is I think a critically important program for the region, and is in very high demand for the graduates for that program, but is also because of similar to art in the sense that art can only be effective with a lot of studio courses. The nursing program also has very expensive clinical courses. And given our cost structure and the fact that we do try to keep overall tuition relatively low, these programs otherwise operate at a significant loss, and these fees are a way to try to minimize that loss.
I agree with that. I agree with everything that you just brought up, Mike, but I'm looking at the projection that John mentioned of $750,000 in revenue. And I'm trying to add up in my mind, how many students at $1,000 a year does it equates to $750,000 in revenue generation. And I'm not able to connect the numbers.
Let's see.
We don't have 7,500 students. You know, if it's $1,000 revenue per student, or increased fees per student.
Yeah.
We don't have that many art students. We don't have that many students.
Yeah, the additional revenue from the art fee itself is about $525,000.
Right.
And the $190,000 basically comes from some cost savings with temporary art faculty. So
okay. I thought John mentioned 750, but even at 550,000. Okay, thank you, John.
Yeah, total. Yeah.
Even at $550,000 revenue generation, I mean, if you divide that out by the number of art students, it's still, does the math still work at $1,000 a person?
Yeah, I believe we have, I believe we have over 500 art students in the program, in the upper 500, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It is one of our largest programs.
Well, none
Thank
of us like to increase fees, but we also know it's critical that we continue our Studio Arts program and our leadership.
Yeah, and it's got to be paid for. I mean, those things are needed. So just like the clinicals, I understand that, and the STEM
and the
class.
nursing and yeah. John, Mike, anything else? Any other questions for John or Mike? No. Okay.
Barbara, I just want to circle back and make sure that we're clear on on this proactive discussion around the art program. So, Angela, you have any questions for us for the board?
No, I understand your points.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, do you want to talk about the action step, please?
I think this is, since it is a fee, this is an action proposal through finance. So since it's on John, I'll just let him read the
Sure.
proposal.
You ought to always give the new guy that challenge of raising more money. Go on.
So we're
I like it
recommending,
there.
yeah, so the action item is that we're recommending, along with President Wang, an increase in the art course fee from 5% to 25% of the per credit tuition rate to support continued breadth of high quality program offerings in art, effective beginning the fall semester of 2021. The fee will continue to be applied only to courses with the art prefix.
Is there a motion to?
So moved.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
Madam Chair,
Tim Wachter, second. Yes, Sam. Yes, Harold.
one question. What is the prefix for those other courses? I'm just being curious.
Yeah. The art history courses have an ARHI prefix, and the art education courses have an ARED prefix.
Okay. All right. Thanks much.
Yep.
Thank you. Any discussion, other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. That, if there is nothing else, and I have a motion to close the business session.
So moved.
Got a motion from Pat, second.
Aye.
Anthony. All those in favor say aye.
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 Great. We can be adjourned, and thank you, everybody. And we will have long discussions in December, if not before. So.
Thank you.
Have a good
Excellent.